The command deck of the Earth vessel Nebula Pioneer buzzed with a mix of tension and exhilaration as it approached the coordinates where the first signals had been received. Captain Elliot Kane stood firm, his gaze fixed on the forward screens displaying the star-studded blackness of space. "Signal strength increasing, Captain," reported Lieutenant Harlan, the communications officer. His fingers danced over the holographic interface, adjusting frequencies. "We're within range for visual contact in 5 minutes. Prepare to slow to impulse speed. Let's not startle our new friends," Captain Kane ordered, turning to his executive officer, Commander Rajesh Singh, who nodded and relayed the command. As the ship slowed, the view screen flickered and revealed a sleek, silver spacecraft of a design completely foreign to anything built by human hands. It was both elegant and alien, gliding through space with an almost serene grace. "Hail them, Harlan. Standard greeting package, universal translator enabled," Kane instructed. "Hailing frequencies open, sir," Harlan replied. A moment of static filled the air, then cleared. "This is Captain Elliot Kane of the Earth vessel Nebula Pioneer. We come in peace and wish to engage in friendly communication." Kane spoke clearly, his voice resonant through the ship's communication system. The alien vessel responded, its message automatically translated. "Greetings, Captain Kane of Earth. I am Dalthari of the Elidi. We welcome you with peace. Let us meet and share knowledge." Kane exchanged a look with Commander Singh. "Dalthari, we accept your gracious offer. We propose a meeting aboard our vessel. We will prepare for your arrival." "Agreed, Captain Kane. I will come alone as a gesture of trust." The alien's voice was calm and melodic. As the transmission ended, Kane turned to his crew. "Let's show our guests the best Earth has to offer. Singh, you're with me. Harlan, keep communications open and monitor all activity. Security, alert status but non-threatening posture." "Yes, sir," they chorused. The alien shuttle docked seamlessly, and the airlock door hissed open. Dalthari stepped into the ship, his tall, slender frame covered in shimmering garments. His skin was a pale blue, eyes large and luminescent. "Welcome aboard the Nebula Pioneer, Dalthari." Kane extended his hand in a human gesture of greeting. Dalthari mimicked the action. "Thank you, Captain. Your ship is a testament to your people's ingenuity." Kane smiled. "Let's head to the conference room. We've prepared some refreshments. Nothing exotic, just simple human fare. I hope you'll find it palatable." As they walked, Commander Singh engaged Dalthari in light conversation about their journey through space, discussing technical aspects of interstellar travel that both civilizations had faced. Reaching the conference room, Kane gestured to the table. "Please, have a seat. We're eager to learn about your technology, culture, and interests in this sector of the galaxy." Dalthari settled into a seat, his eyes scanning the room with an expression of keen interest. "We are just as eager, Captain Kane. Our civilization values knowledge and peaceful exploration above all. We hope this meeting marks the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship between our peoples." As they shared information and refreshments, the atmosphere grew cordial. Kane noted the crew's ease as they interacted with Dalthari, a sign of the successful start to what he hoped would be a groundbreaking alliance. The meeting concluded with agreements for further exchanges and visits. Dalthari's departure was as graceful as his arrival, leaving the human crew of the Nebula Pioneer with a sense of accomplishment and the promise of an expansive future. Captain Kane watched the alien vessel retreat into the cosmos, a small yet significant speck against the vast backdrop of stars. Turning to Commander Singh, he remarked, "Well, that went smoother than I expected. Let's document everything. This is just the beginning, Rajesh." "Indeed, Captain. A historic day for humanity," Singh replied, a broad smile on his face as they returned to the bridge to chart their next course. Location: United Nations, Earth. The Grand Hall of the United Nations was bustling with diplomats and military officials from around the globe, all gathered for the special session that would define Earth's future relationship with the Elidi. The murmur of dozens of languages filled the air, a testament to the diversity of Earth itself. Captain Elliot Kane walked alongside General Vincent Harper, the head of Earth's Extraterrestrial Relations Division, as they prepared to present the details of their first contact and propose a formal pact with the Elidi. "Are you ready for this, Elliot?" General Harper asked, adjusting his uniform. "As ready as one can be for a day like today," Kane replied. "It's not every day we set the groundwork for interstellar diplomacy." They entered the briefing room, where a holographic projector displayed a rotating image of the Elidi ship. The room quieted as they approached the podium. "Ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly," General Harper began, "we stand at a crucial juncture in human history. The Elidi, a peaceful alien civilization, has reached out with a hand of friendship. Today we discuss how to grasp that hand." Kane took over, clicking to a slide showing his and Dalthari's meeting. "Our interactions with the Elidi have been characterized by mutual respect and a shared desire for peace. We propose a formal alliance that includes cultural exchanges, technological sharing, and mutual defense agreements." A delegate from Brazil stood up, concern etching his features. "How can we ensure our security? What if this alliance provokes other, perhaps not so friendly, extraterrestrial forces?" General Harper nodded at the question. "An excellent point. Part of our pact includes the establishment of a joint Earth-Elidi Defense Council. We will not only share technology, but also strategies to protect our worlds from any potential threats." A murmur of approval rippled through the room. Another delegate, this time from India, raised a question. "And what of the benefits to our people? How will this alliance improve the lives of the average citizen?" Kane smiled, ready for this question. "Imagine advancements in energy, medicine, and environmental management that come from sharing knowledge with a civilization that has mastered interstellar travel. The potential for improvement is immense." The Russian delegate looked skeptical. "And what do we have to offer them? Why would such an advanced civilization seek an alliance with us?" "It's not just about technology," Kane explained. "The Elidi value diversity and believe that a multitude of perspectives can lead to better solutions. They see value in our creativity, our different ways of thinking. It's not just a partnership of convenience, but of mutual enrichment." The discussion continued, with questions about communication methods, cultural integration, and economic impacts. Each query was met with thoughtful responses from Kane and Harper, emphasizing collaboration and long-term benefits. As the session drew to a close, the Secretary General of the United Nations took the floor. "It appears we are on the cusp of a new era for humanity. I propose we vote on the formation of this alliance, with the details to be ironed out in subsequent committees. All in favor?" A sea of hands lifted in agreement. "All opposed?" A resounding silence followed. "The motion is passed unanimously," declared the Secretary General. "Let us proceed with hope and diligence." After the session, Kane and Harper shared a moment of quiet satisfaction. "We did it, Elliot," Harper said, clapping Kane on the shoulder. "We did indeed, Vincent. But this is just the beginning. There's much work to do," Kane replied, his eyes alight with the possibilities ahead. As they left the chamber, their steps were buoyant, energized by the diplomatic victory and the challenges that lay ahead. Location: Elidi Space Station, orbiting Helios 2. The Elidi Space Station, a marvel of engineering with its sweeping metallic arcs and radiant energy cores, orbited the serene planet of Helios 2. Captain Elliot Kane and Commander Rajesh Singh were on a diplomatic visit, accompanied by Chief Engineer Michael Turner, to discuss technical collaborations. As they toured the central hub with their host, Zankil, a high-ranking Elidi engineer, alarms suddenly blared throughout the corridor. "What's happening, Zankil?" Kane asked, as the station's residents began to move with urgent precision. "There's been a breach in one of the primary energy conduits. It appears to be sabotage," Zankil responded, his voice calm but concerned. "Sabotage here?" Commander Singh looked incredulous. "Do you have any leads? We need to investigate. Would your engineer assist us? Your perspectives might be valuable," Zankil said, turning to Michael. "Of course," Michael replied, following Zankil towards the site of the breach, with Kane and Singh trailing behind. Arriving at the damaged conduit, they found Elidi technicians assessing the situation. Michael knelt beside the wreckage, examining the remains. "This doesn't look like an accident. The cut is too clean, precision lasered. Someone knew exactly what to disable," Michael observed, pointing at the edges of the severed conduit. Kane exchanged a glance with Singh. This could be an inside job or worse, someone from Earth trying to undermine our relations. Let's not jump to conclusions, Singh cautioned. We need evidence. As they spoke, security footage was brought up on a nearby screen showing a cloaked figure tampering with the conduit. That's not LED tech he's using, Michael pointed out. Looks human-made. Kane's jaw tightened. We need to find out who this is, fast. Zankil, could you enhance the image? Zankil nodded, working with his device to clear up the footage. The figure's face became visible, revealing a human male they didn't recognize. I'll alert our security back on Earth. See if they can ID him, Singh said, stepping aside to make the call. While Singh communicated with Earth, Kane and Michael assisted the Elite in repairing the conduit. The collaboration wasn't just about diplomacy now. It was about proving humanity's commitment to their new allies. After several hours, the repair was complete, and Singh returned with information. He's a former engineer from the European Space Collective, discharged for misconduct last year. Seems he didn't take it well. Do you think this is just revenge, or is there more to it? Kane asked, concerned. We're running checks on his recent activities and associations. But one thing is clear, he had help getting here, Singh reported. The group reconvened with Zankil, who had just finished a security meeting of his own. We appreciate your help today, Zankil said to the Earth team. This incident could have driven a wedge between our peoples. Instead, it has shown us the strength of our alliance. Kane nodded. We'll do everything we can to root out this sabotage network. You have our full support. As the Earth team prepared to leave, they knew the situation had changed. It wasn't just about maintaining peace anymore. They had to actively defend it. Back aboard their shuttle, Kane looked at his team. We're in this together. Let's keep our eyes open and our minds sharp. We're not just protecting a treaty, we're protecting a future. With determined nods from Singh and Michael, the shuttle detached from the station, heading back to Earth to uncover the plot threatening their interspecies alliance. Location: Earth's Global Assembly. The mood in the assembly hall was tense as delegates from around the world convened for an emergency session. The recent act of sabotage on the Elite space station had escalated concerns about the fragility of the Earth-Elite alliance. Captain Elliot Kane and Commander Rajesh Singh, having returned from their mission, were ready to present their findings alongside General Vincent Harper. As they took their seats, whispers and murmurs filled the room, each delegate aware of the stakes at hand. Kane stood to address the assembly, his expression somber yet determined. Ladies and gentlemen, Kane began, the incident at the Elite station was not just an act of vandalism, it was a direct assault on our future. We have identified the perpetrator, a disgruntled former engineer with access to sophisticated technology and a dangerous agenda. A delegate from Japan raised a hand. Captain Kane, what measures can we implement to prevent such incidents in the future? How do we ensure our alliance remains intact? Before Kane could respond, General Harper interjected. We propose a 3-tier security protocol involving enhanced vetting of personnel involved in interstellar projects, increased surveillance of all joint operations, and a rapid response team capable of addressing threats as they arise. Commander Singh took the floor next. In addition to these security measures, we need to send a clear message to any potential agitators. Earth's commitment to peace and cooperation with the Elite is unwavering. Any act of aggression against our allies will be met with the strongest possible response. The Russian delegate looked skeptical. And what of the Elite? What guarantees do we have of their commitment? We must ensure mutual accountability. Kane nodded in agreement. Absolutely. The Elite are preparing their own security enhancements and have agreed to mutual inspections to ensure both sides comply with all safety and security protocols. An African Union representative stood, his voice firm. While these measures are necessary, we must also focus on the root causes of such hostility. We need cultural integration programs that can help foster understanding and respect between our peoples. General Harper acknowledged this. Indeed, we are working on an intercultural exchange program, which will include educational initiatives, civilian visits, and media exchanges to build a solid foundation of mutual respect and understanding. The discussion shifted towards implementation, with each delegate contributing ideas on how to strengthen the alliance without compromising their respective nation's sovereignty or security. As the session drew to a close, the Secretary General summed up the sentiments. We are bound by a common goal: peace and prosperity for all our people, Earthlings and Aelidi alike. Today, we recommit to this goal with an ultimatum against violence and a promise of solidarity. Let us move forward together. The assembly ended with a unanimous vote of approval for the new security and cultural measures. Kane, Singh, and Harper exchanged relieved glances, knowing they had secured a vital win for the stability of Earth's external relations. Outside the assembly hall, Kane reflected on the day's events with Singh. We've set the stage, Rajesh, but the real work starts now. We need to be vigilant and proactive. Singh nodded, his gaze steady. We'll be ready, Elliot. Whatever it takes to protect this alliance and our future. As they walked back to their offices, the weight of responsibility was palpable, but so was the sense of purpose. The path ahead was clear, and together they were determined to walk it. Location: the summit, neutral zone. The sprawling conference center in the neutral zone had been chosen for its security and diplomatic neutrality to host the first major Earth-Aelidi summit. Security was unprecedentedly tight, with both Earth and Aelidi forces collaborating seamlessly. Captain Elliot Kane and Commander Rajesh Singh were in the command center, overseeing the deployment of security measures. We've double-checked everything, Rajesh. Every attendee is vetted, every entry point is monitored, Kane reassured his colleague, though the tension was palpable. Singh responded, checking the live feeds from the security cameras. It's not the things we can see that worry me, Elliot. It's the unknown variables. Let's stay sharp. The summit was about to start, with high-ranking diplomats and officials gathering in the main hall. General Vincent Harper joined Kane and Singh in the command center. Gentlemen, how are we feeling about our setup? He asked. Prepared as we can be, General, Kane replied, his focus still partly on the security screens. The summit commenced with opening remarks by the Earth's Secretary General and the Aelidi equivalent, Dalthari, who had become a familiar face in human-alien relations. As Dalthari spoke of a shared future and the benefits of cooperation, the security team received a sudden alert. Movement in Sector 4, unauthorized access, one of the security operatives announced. Instantly, Kane, Singh, and Harper were on high alert, coordinating with the ground teams to intercept. Lock down Sector 4. I want eyes on that area now, Harper commanded, his voice cutting through the commotion. The screens flicked to the feed from Sector 4, showing a masked figure bypassing a security gate using high-tech equipment. That's not standard tech. Looks like military grade, Singh observed, his brow furrowed. Kane was already moving. I'm heading down there. Rajesh, coordinate from here. Vincent, keep the summit running and cover our movement. As Kane raced toward Sector 4, the intruder was met by security forces, but not before deploying a smoke bomb, creating chaos and a visual cover. The confrontation was brief yet intense, with Kane arriving just in time to see the security team subdue the intruder. Who sent you? Kane demanded, gripping the intruder's collar as the smoke cleared. The masked man smirked. You think this is over, Captain? We're just getting started. Back in the command center, Singh was tracking other potential threats. Elliot, we have multiple points of intrusion. This looks coordinated. Understood. Contain and neutralize. I need to ensure the summit continues, Kane replied, catching his breath as he handed the intruder over to the security team. With the immediate threat subdued, Kane returned to the summit hall, where the incident had caused a stir among the delegates. Harper was already smoothing over the situation, emphasizing the swift response and the ongoing commitment to safety. Kane and Singh joined forces at the side of the hall, watching the crowd settle down. That was too close, Rajesh. We need to anticipate their next move, Kane muttered. Singh nodded in agreement. We need to assume they have more planned. Let's increase surveillance and keep the summit locked down until we know more. The summit resumed with heightened security and a new sense of urgency. Dalthari, showing remarkable composure, reiterated his commitment to peace, subtly acknowledging the swift action of the security teams. As the day wore on, Kane and Singh remained vigilant, their eyes scanning for any sign of trouble. The initial assault had been thwarted, but the message was clear. There were forces at play ready to disrupt the peace at any cost. As the summit concluded for the day, the leaders of Earth and Aelidi expressed their gratitude towards the security forces. The incident had tested their resolve, but it had also reinforced the necessity of their alliance. "We stand united," Dalthari said, his voice resonant in the now calm conference hall. "Such attempts to undermine our unity will only strengthen our resolve to work together." Location: Rogue Nation-State Territory. In the wake of the summit attack, Captain Elliot Kane, Commander Rajesh Singh, and General Vincent Harper met in a secure military planning room back on Earth. The evidence had led them to a rogue nation-state suspected of harboring and supporting the attackers. "Based on the intel we gathered from our captive and surveillance, this isn't just a band of radicals, it's state-sponsored," Harper briefed, pointing to a map displaying strategic targets within the rogue nation. Kane's expression was grim. "If we're right, taking them head-on could escalate into a full-blown conflict. How do we approach this, Vincent?" "We strike precisely where it hurts most: their military capabilities and the infrastructure supporting these operations. A show of force to make them think twice about supporting or initiating further attacks," Harper proposed. Singh, examining the satellite images, suggested, "We should also consider a cyber offensive to cripple their communications and data centers. It'll give us an edge, disrupting their command and control structures." "Agreed. Let's prepare a two-pronged approach: tactical strikes and cyber warfare. We'll need airtight ops on this, no room for errors," Kane decided, turning to his team. "Let's get our units briefed. Time is not on our side." The operations went into effect at dawn. Kane, Singh, and Harper coordinated the strikes from a mobile command center positioned in international waters near the rogue state. As the first reports came in, the atmosphere was tense. "Strike Team Alpha reports successful engagement with enemy defenses. Minimal casualties, all targets neutralized," the communications officer reported. Singh monitored the cyber operations, his face illuminated by the glow of computer screens. "Cyber teams have infiltrated the enemy networks. We're seeing a lot of disruption. Communications are down in several key areas." Harper kept his eyes on the live feeds, watching as precision strikes dismantled missile sites and radar installations. "Good, keep the pressure. We can't let them regroup or counterattack." Meanwhile, Kane focused on the bigger picture, ensuring the safety of civilian areas and minimizing collateral damage. "Make sure all teams are aware of the no-strike zones. We're not here to escalate unnecessarily. We're sending a message." As the day progressed, reports of success piled up. The rogue state's capability to support or engage in extraterrestrial hostilities was significantly degraded. However, the victory was not without its costs. Casualties on both sides weighed heavily on Kane's conscience. In the aftermath, the team gathered to assess the impact of their operations. Singh provided the update. "We've severely disrupted their offensive capabilities and our message is clear, but we should expect some form of retaliation or plea for negotiations." Harper nodded in agreement. "We'll need to stay vigilant and prepare for peace talks. They know we can strike again if necessary." Kane, though satisfied with the tactical success, remained thoughtful. "We've shown our strength, but let's not forget the importance of building bridges afterward. If they reach out for talks, we should be prepared to engage diplomatically." The trio discussed the next steps, planning for a potential diplomatic outreach to the rogue state, while maintaining readiness for further military action if required. As night fell, Kane looked out over the dark waters, reflecting on the day's events. "Today, we defended our future, not just with weapons, but with a commitment to stability and peace. Let's make sure we lead with that." Singh stood beside him, his face set in determination. "We'll make it through, Elliot, we always do." Together, they turned back to the command center, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, with a firm resolve to protect Earth and its allies at all costs. Location: International Court, Earth. The International Court had never been so crowded, with media, diplomats, and citizens from Earth and Aelidi territories alike clamoring for a seat at the high-stakes trials. Captain Elliot Kane, alongside Commander Rajesh Singh and General Vincent Harper, prepared to testify against the leaders of the rogue faction that had threatened the Earth-Elidi alliance. In the courtroom, the air was thick with anticipation. The defendants, 3 high-ranking officials of the rogue nation-state, were seated, looking defiant despite the charges against them: terrorism, conspiracy against peace, and crimes against interspecies cooperation. The chief prosecutor, an experienced legal mind from the European Union, stood to make the opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence will show that these individuals orchestrated a campaign of terror aimed not only at the Elidi, but at the very idea of peace and cooperation among civilizations. We will prove their intent and their actions, which have endangered countless lives. Kane was the first to take the stand. On the day of the summit, we intercepted communications linking these defendants to the attackers, he testified, presenting intercepted messages and surveillance footage. Their goal was clear: to sever the burgeoning ties between Earth and the Elidi through violence. Singh followed, detailing the tactical operations and the findings at the rogue state's military installations. We found documents and electronic correspondence that further link the defendants to the summit attack and the sabotage on the Elidi station, he said, his voice firm and compelling. General Harper testified about the broader implications of the attacks. These actions threatened not just the Earth or the Elidi, but all species interested in peaceful space exploration and cooperation. It was an attack on peace itself. The defense lawyers argued that their clients were acting in defense of Earth's sovereignty and portrayed the alliance with the Elidi as a threat to human independence. However, the evidence presented by Kane, Singh, and Harper undermined this narrative, showcasing a premeditated attack on peaceful diplomacy. Throughout the trial, Kane and his team worked closely with Elidi representatives, who provided additional evidence and support. Zankil, now an ambassador, spoke to the court about the impact of the attacks on Elidi society. These events have caused fear, but also a stronger resolve to continue our partnership with Earth, based on mutual respect and shared goals, Zankil testified, his demeanor calm but powerful. The trial lasted several weeks, with experts, victims of the attacks, and other key witnesses taking the stand. Public interest remained high as broadcasts and streams of the proceedings reached millions across the globe. Finally, the jury returned with their verdict after days of deliberation, guilty on all counts for the 3 defendants. The judge sentenced them to life imprisonment, considering the gravity of their crimes and the potential for future threats. After the sentencing, Kane, Singh, and Harper stepped outside the courthouse, greeted by a crowd of supporters and media. Harper addressed the crowd. Today's verdicts send a clear message that actions threatening peace and security among our planets will not be tolerated. We stand united, stronger in our resolve. Kane added, "Let this be a lesson to all who wish to disrupt peace. We are vigilant and we are committed. But let's also remember the power of forgiveness and the potential for redemption. Let us focus now on healing and building, rather than dwelling on past grievances." As the crowd dispersed, Singh turned to Kane. "What now, Elliot?" "Now, we build. We strengthen our bonds with the Elidi and ensure that this kind of violence never endangers our peace again," Kane replied, looking towards a future where Earth and its allies could thrive together in harmony. The chapter closed on a day of justice and reflection, marking a hopeful step forward for all involved. Location: Earth and Elidi homeworld. The signing of the new treaty between Earth and the Elidi marked not just a renewal of their alliance, but a broader commitment to shared futures and mutual prosperity. The ceremony was set in a vast auditorium on the Elidi homeworld, where representatives from multiple human nations and various Elidi communities gathered. Captain Elliot Kane, Commander Rajesh Singh, and General Vincent Harper stood among the dignitaries, their faces reflecting a mix of relief and solemnity. They were joined by Zankil, now officially the Elidi ambassador to Earth, and other key figures from both civilizations. As the ceremony commenced, Ambassador Zankil addressed the assembly. "Today we reaffirm our commitment not just to each other, but to a principle greater than any one of us, the principle of peace and progress. The trials we have faced were severe, but they have fortified our resolve to move forward together. Kane stepped forward to sign the treaty on behalf of Earth. This treaty is more than a document. It's a blueprint for the future, he said, his voice steady and clear. It outlines not only our plans for defense and mutual assistance, but also our commitment to cultural exchanges and joint ventures in science and exploration. Commander Singh, who had been instrumental in shaping the security protocols of the treaty, added, "We've laid down robust measures to ensure our mutual safety, but we've also opened doors for our peoples to learn from each other, to grow together." General Harper, taking the podium next, spoke of the military and strategic dimensions. "While we must be prepared to defend our peace, let us not forget that the strongest fortress is the one which never faces attack, because its enemies are turned into friends." As the Elite representatives signed the treaty, applause filled the room, symbolizing a collective breath of relief and hope. After the official proceedings, a cultural celebration began, featuring Earth music and Elite performances, a demonstration of the cultural richness each side was eager to share. Later, at a reception, Kane and Singh mingled with Elite officials and Earth delegates, discussing plans for upcoming joint missions and exchanges. Kane found himself in a deep conversation with an Elite scientist, Dr. Lai Thu, about a planned cooperative space exploration mission. "It's fascinating," Dr. Lai Thu said, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. "We're not just planning to explore new star systems, but also to develop joint technologies that could revolutionize space travel." Kane nodded, equally engaged. "And on Earth, our schools are preparing to welcome Elite educators. It's a time of great learning and anticipation." As the event drew to a close, Singh stood by Kane, looking out at the mingling crowd of humans and Elite. "Did you ever think we'd see this day, Elliot?" he asked, a slight smile on his face. "Hope was always there, but seeing it come to fruition is something else entirely," Kane replied, his gaze thoughtful. "It's a new dawn indeed, for both our peoples." They stood together, watching the celebration continue, a testament to the strength and potential of unity. The journey had been fraught with challenges, but as they looked ahead, it was clear that, together, they were stepping into a promising and unprecedented era of interspecies cooperation and peace.